David has just described a shattered army, a fractured land, and a people staggering under God's discipline. The opening 3 verses of Psalm 60 read like a battlefield report filed in prayer. Now, in verses 4 and 5, the tone shifts. Not because the circumstances changed. The enemy is still in the field. The battles are still being fought on 2 fronts. But David lifts his eyes from the broken ground and looks at what God has already given. Thou hast given a banner to them that fear thee, that it may be displayed because of the truth. Selah. Psalm 60, verse 4. The word banner refers to a military standard, the kind planted on a hill to rally scattered troops. In ancient warfare, when soldiers lost sight of their unit in the chaos of battle, they looked for the banner. It gave them direction when everything around them was confusion. David says, God has given this banner to them that fear thee, not to the strongest, not to the most experienced soldiers, to those who fear God. The banner belongs to the God-fearing and was given by God himself. Israel did not manufacture this standard. God provided it. The purpose is obvious, that it may be displayed because of the truth. Their banner is not raised for Israel's national pride, but because of truth. The word here is often translated truth, but it carries the full significance of God's faithfulness, his reliable word, and his covenant character. The banner flies because God is true to what he promised. Every time Israel rallied under that standard, they declared, God keeps his word. This matters in the context of defeat. Israel just staggered under God's discipline. But the banner is still standing. God's discipline does not cancel his covenant. The same God who gave them the cup of astonishment also planted the banner of truth. Both actions come from the same hand. Both the discipline and the covenant are real. The banner tells the scattered that God has not abandoned his people. He disciplines them and then calls them back to himself. That thy beloved may be delivered. Save with thy right hand, and hear me. Psalm 60, verse 5. David now moves from the banner to the prayer. He calls Israel thy beloved. David uses this word to appeal to God's own affection for his people. He is not just asking God to rescue a nation. He is calling on God to deliver those he loves. This is a bold prayer. David is saying that God's own love is at stake in the outcome. If God's beloved are destroyed, what does that say about God's love? David presses this argument before the throne. The prayer is not based on Israel's merit. They just suffered a defeat that David attributed to God's displeasure. Their worthiness is not the argument. God's love is the question. Save with thy right hand. The right hand in Scripture represents power and authority. David asks God to act from his own strength, not from Israel's. The deliverance David seeks must come from above, not from within the army. And hear me. After the battlefield imagery, after the earthquake language, after the banner and the beloved, David reduces everything to this single petition. Hear me. The whole prayer rests on God's willingness to listen. David does not presume the outcome, but he asks God to hear him.